take something from like a unique approach, and I'm not. Uh, I would say I'm conservative, but I'm not like strictly Republican, and I don't agree with every Republican. I disagree with a lot of Republicans, and so I've had the unique experience of being canceled by the right and the left in the same year. So
Okay.
So Joel, melanated, even though I said the right answers, that's what he said, believes that I'm racist. Or he didn't say I'm racist, but he said, have a few drinks and the truth comes out. How do you feel about white people being inherently racist?
well, no one is inherently racist. Racism is a learned behavior.
Correct.
It's
And
American law inherently racist. I would argue that it is not, and if it is, then it's very bad at it. It's very bad at being racist because the race that benefits the most from American law is not white people.
Who benefits from it then?
Who benefits from it then?
Yeah, who benefits? Because what's up with the Black Code and the Jim Crow Law era? What about that? When that was
Right.
placed in after
So
slavery, when they knew slavery was going to
you
be
mean
ending.
Biden's Jim Crow laws?
What'd you say? Modern? No, I'm talking about the ones like back in. They created Black Code as soon as they was aware and knew that slavery was going to end. They created Black Code and the Jim Crow era laws. And I know there's new. I'm not talking about the new ones. I know a lot of black people in the South. They're saying there's the new Jim Crow era, and then the white people in the South are saying, "Oh, they got rid of that, but there's still laws
real
there."
laws, those would be the equivalent of what we would call like a city ordinance. They
Right,
weren't
city
they weren't
ordinance.
real laws because well, they definitely weren't federal laws because if they were federally enforced,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, that would have been a completely different situation. I also think like that was a situation where people who had had political power were angry that they were about to lose their power, so they quickly had to resubjugate a group of people to keep them um, under control. And they would lose all their power.
Right, and didn't the K no, no, let's say KKK, didn't they started ruling the government back in the 1920s, and they ruled the government?
No,
So
Democrat.
they've never ruled. Yeah, they've never
in
ruled
the
the
early
government in America.
1920s.
So the KKK was actually featured on Democrats' letterhead, right? Back in the 1900s, the early 1900s. The Republican letterhead was Party of the Free, right? Am I right, Joel?
Yeah, you're right, but right now neither party what they was doing that neither party is doing this, they're not doing the same thing now, neither one
And
Right,
of them.
but here's the thing, right?
Mhm.
I don't want a party that says, "Hey, we're going to put black people first," because that would also be a racist party. I want a party that writes policies that benefit everyone.
people,
That's
Man,
the
And
party I
that
would
has
vote
to
for.
come from the white
And
people
so
to
far, we
actually.
have not had a party that has wrote any policy that will
to
benefit
put us first.
everyone. We have not yet seen a party. Most of the Democrats don't do a damn
so
thing for
I
black
pose a
people.
question: if a colorless person wrote a bill that said all rights are equal
Across the board in
across the
every state,
board,
every
across
state.
the board, regardless of their party affiliation, I would vote for that.
I
That being
would too.
said, that being said, not all Republicans are Republicans in the sense of Abraham Lincoln Republican.
I'm saying we need to move on from that Republican Democrat thing, right? We need to look at people for their policies and for their character. So, for example, there's a guy named Jeff Jackson, and he's here on TikTok, and he is a Democrat. And I have
Okay.
researched him pretty extensively, and he's pretty conservative, and he's not. If he was in my district, I would vote for him. And then when Tulsi Gabbard was running as a Democratic candidate, I actually got the opportunity to meet with her, and I would have supported her for public office because she was a person of integrity and she had serious policies that were conservative in nature, but they weren't Republican.
Wait,
And I
what?
also have seen Republicans do some of the most disgusting behavior I've seen in politics, which is where when they thought Trump was on top, they
Mm-hmm.
would do anything to suck him off. And the moment that he seemed like he was falling off the horse, they
Mm-hmm.
kicked him when he was down. So to
Right.
They
me,
jump ship.
Yep, they did.
right, so to me, it's like they had no issue using him to get where they were headed. But then as soon as things started to get difficult for him, they jumped ship. Now, do I think Trump is innocent of this probe with the whole classified documents thing? No, I don't think he's innocent. But I also don't think that it's being prosecuted fairly. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure if you went into the private lives the way they went into his private life of every former president and you really went into it, you would find something illegal that everyone did it during their time in the White House. I just feel like
Agreed.
they won't let it go
Uh,
with him because they're genuinely concerned that he is the most serious challenger Joe Biden has in 2020.
So, Joel, the day before he left the White House, he declassified Crossfire Hurricane. And that's what this is about, in my opinion.
So he
This is
had
all the corruption.
didn't
He
declassify,
declassified this and he took it
but
home with him. Now,
no, he had
granted,
no. So that if he had declassified it, they would have no case. He had documents that he didn't declassify. But then again,
no,
I
no.
think it was Dick Cheney and Joe Biden within a month of each other, both had classified documents stored
Correct.
Dick
in an
Cheney still
unsafe
had
place.
documents from the two. God damn, Dick Cheney. He been having that shit a long time. But
Yeah.
I heard Mike Pence say
That's
that
three.
though.
Yeah,
He was like,
that's three.
I heard Mike Pence say
He's
when they
three
was
terms.
asking him, he sit there and he said, Joe Biden had documents, I had documents at my house too. So you go back to any other president or whatever, it should be they probably have the same thing.
Well,
So I
they're
don't understand what
But
comparing
they
but
do.
Yes.
there's
So,
another
my,
there's
they're
another
my,
comparing
concern
but they're
is that
comparing Hillary Clinton's emails versus what Trump
so Hillary
so that's not the
Clinton's,
documents.
same thing, right?
It's
Because
not the
Hillary
same.
Clinton leaked, yeah, Hillary Clinton leaked classified information using an
on a
unsecure
private
server, and
server,
people actually died because of it. Not the same thing.
yes, the SEALs in Benghazi,
The
the Army
ambassador in
Rangers,
Benghazi was killed because of Hillary
uh,
Clinton's improper
yep,
storing of classified email.
yep. So, and then you have, hey, the president's the only one allowed to declassify. You have a senator who admitted on TV, Joe Biden, said from 1974 and on, he had classified documents in his possession. That's not allowed. As a vice president,
Right.
you're
All
not
this, all
allowed
you know
Depends
what?
on
to
what
All
it
this
declassify.
is.
time you trying
Yeah,
to
because like my
destroy your
dad had a
president.
government computer that had classified documents, and he took it home with him every night. So I think it just depends on
Are
there are
any of
storage
those people
guidelines
you
depending on
guys
what the
talking
information.
about, are they on trial right now? Any
They
of them?
aren't. And that's the two tiers.
No,
That's
no,
the
no,
two
no, no, no.
tiers.
Listen, listen, listen.
Yep.
Listen to what I'm saying. We all know. Everybody know. Everybody know. Each one of those SOBs that was in office done some dirt. Everybody know this. But under the same token, Trump is on trial.
Nobody else is.
But they didn't go after nobody else.
So hold on.
And
I'm
so
going to
far
ask.
as the fair treatment, I have no squalm on none of it. Like I say, that's politics. I don't give a damn about none of them. Let the
So
chicken
let me
come
pose
home
a
to roost.
question, Melanated. I assume I'm talking to Melanated, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
So, Melanated, if one party, you have to agree, it's one party targeting one person, correct?
Correct. That's politics.
That's politics. All
That's
right,
politics. Dog eat dog world.
now all this evidence comes out. Biden took 5 million. His son took 5 million. All this is coming out.
And
Do you think they're targeting Trump because he actually did something illegal, or they want to jeopardize his future?
you know what?
But guess
That
what?
My thought. Let me give you my thought. And I'll tell you
okay?
my thought.
Go for it.
And I'm gonna come with the truth. I don't give a damn who they target. Like I told you, I don't give a damn about that shit. That's on them. I'm not
But you got,
benefiting no way, one way or the other. Any way
but you
they
got a
want to.
man
I don't care.
systematically.
Right, but I don't want to. I don't want to derail the conversation too far off the original conversation, which was the sundown towns.
Yes.
And if sundown towns still exist, they're not legal. So that would be like asking the question, why is murder happening in the United States? Whether it's happening or not doesn't mean it would not support that the law is inherently racist because the towns are illegal.
No, the reason why I asked why do sundown towns exist because there are white people in the South that says there's no racism in the South, but they got the Confederate flags and they still have
Confederate
racism
flag is
there.
not inherently
So
racist.
so why are the sundown towns still existing when it should be built with diversity?
Because you
There
have
are
a
no sundown
hierarchy.
towns.
And I
You have a
just went and looked
hierarchy.
at for the locations for
Has
sundown
anybody
towns
been
in
to a
Texas. I
sundown?
know Texas is so big,
No,
you
I
I've
took
don't
a
been
stop.
road that
there.
is
I
not
don't
I've been
hold
across.
up.
there.
I pass up one every time going to New Orleans, Vita, Texas, when I'm leaving from Texas. And yeah, they still a year or two ago or whatever, black family out there, they burned the cross and all on their lawn and all. So yeah, they
Man,
do have them.
Yeah, Vital Town is
Wait,
on
And
wait,
that.
wait.
You
What,
can
what
you
would
can look
burning
at
a
it.
cross
You
on
can
their
you can
lawn
One
have
picture
to
at a
do with it
the
time,
being a
sundown
guys.
sundown
One at a
town.
town?
time. Talk
You
one
got
at a time.
106 sundown towns in Texas. 106.
What
And
you
I
well,
said,
don't
how
know.
what
about
burning
this?
the cross has to do
Well,
with
how
it?
about
They burn
this?
the cross because they don't want them there.
How about you put out a TikTok saying, "Hey,
Indiana,
this happens nightly," and then the
Indiana
rest of
has
the
sundown
Texas.
towns too.
I'm in
I'm in
Texas.
Texas. I'm in
I'm in
Texas.
Texas. I'll come to your town and stand shoulder to shoulder with you.
You
But
mean
That
yet,
every
still
place?
don't that
You
still
mean
don't make
both
it
of
no-
y'all need to go to the sundown town and stand shoulder to shoulder?
that's what I'm saying.
Wait. A sundown town means black people aren't supposed to be out after sundown, correct?
That's
Correct.
Yes,
correct.
sir.
Correct.
Okay.
So
So how
you're
would they
telling me
write into law no black people after sundown?
they
it's
don't
And
not
how
a
have
would they
to.
law.
enforce that?
It's not a law. It's the
It's not a
So how
law,
is
attitude of
but
it
the
it's
people
the
enforceable?
in their town.
hierarchy. It's the
Hmm.
hierarchy. It's the
So,
city
but who's
council.
enforcing that?
The community, the
The
The,
The,
neighbors.
communities.
the community, the people in the
yeah.
neighborhood is who's enforcing it.
It's
So
not
So
they
guess
go and
what?
they
hierarchy,
hunt
but
down black people after dark.
They
Man,
say,
look,
no, they
you
don't hunt
sitting
them
there,
down. They
whatever.
say that if they
You
there, that
sit
they
there.
have to leave.
You want to
Um,
know about Vita, Texas? Look it up and read up on it. I know because you can read about Vita or whatever. Because what I'm saying or whatever, you might think I'm just joking or whatever.
have
I'm
you
not a
ever
guy.
been
I
to
don't
a
put
sundown
everything
town,
black
Joe?
and white.
Have you
But
ever
just
been
check
to
it
a
out. Just check it out for me, Joe.
Okay, Joe, have you ever been to a town where they say it's sundown? Have you ever visit one?
No.
This gentleman below, underneath you, he said he's currently in one in Iowa, and I'm asking him how does he know that is a sundown town?
My dad used to say nothing good happens after 11, so maybe it's
Yeah.
not such a huge thing.
And Arnold,
Huh?
I
I
was
Huh?
live in
asking
Fort
next
Worth.
gen. I don't
I
know
live in
next
Fort Worth.
gen.
You invite
Yeah.
me down. You invite me down. I'll stand shoulder and shoulder, and
No, I
We'll
don't live. I don't live
we'll
there. I don't stop there for gas because at one time it was a billboard off of the highway or whatever. They finally removed or whatever. That somebody paid
right.
for a billboard
Oh,
that you can see off the interstate.
well, I guess
I
Drive
don't
through
stop
that
Harrison.
and
They
buy it.
motherfucker.
say, Joe, have you heard of Harrison, Arkansas? There's people I know from Arkansas. They say that that's the headquarters of the Three Ks, and they have all those. They will. I'm signs are still there or not, but they said that's the headquarters of KKK in that state. So, and people they say they don't go. The black people in Arkansas that know they say they don't even go in Harrison.
Listen, this inherently racist white people. Nick, I love you. I try to participate and support you, but
Hmm.
come on. I mean, I honestly, I learned a lesson tonight from melanated that Bubba is a derogatory term, even though I'm from the
Hmm.
South and we call a lot of people Bubba
Bubba is
or
not a territory term.
Babe
I think
or whatever.
he's on something.
But
You have to
I
explain
will
what
say
extremists
this:
are.
if you
Uh,
live in a,
Bearder
if you
Scottman, you
live
have to
in a,
explain what are extremists? Who are those people? How did they learn to
extremists are
become?
fucking nuts.
Okay,
Extremists are fucking
so
nuts.
how did they become who they became,
From their
or still is?
family.
But it's like
Period.
we're having this
Period.
discussion about whether or not white people are inherently racist, and I would say that they're not. And then you brought up the Klan. I genuinely challenge you. Any city in America, let the Klan put on their little bed sheets and walk into a public
Yes.
mall. In any city in America,
Actually they did
Yes.
it in Philadelphia, I
They get
think a
they
year
will
and a
be
half
run
ago.
out of
But
town.
they didn't
They will
no,
be
no,
run
no,
out of
no.
town
Hold on.
so fast
Hold
they could
on.
have won an Olympic gold medal.
Wait a minute. They were in Philadelphia, I believe a year or two ago. They came in Philadelphia. And then what happened
Klan
to the
came
one
to Dayton,
In
Ohio.
Charlotte?
The
And then
Klan
the one
came
in
to Dayton,
Charlotte,
Ohio when I was 15 years old. The
huh?
police had to shut the city down because
No,
people
this
came
was
out in such
recent.
numbers that they were afraid they would kill the Klan members.
Unalive. So check it
yes.
out. What about the Charlotte, Virginia incident where the white lady got unalive when the one extremist hit her with the car?
He was run over by because the car was in reverse because people were throwing bricks and breaking trying to break the windows of the car, so the person was trying to run away. That's proof
They were
that
trying to,
when the Klan comes to town,
they were
they are sent
protesting.
home. They are sent home with their tail between their legs every time because the vast majority of Americans do not tolerate that kind of nonsense.
You call me if you run into
And
this,
then someone
Nick.
got to explain to me why Leon Hayes is not actually still discussed, even though I called Wayne County in Mississippi, and they have not did anything with that man being decapitated with his head and body in his backyard. So why no one never addressed that? And that happened in 2021, and when it was posted on TikTok by Cosmo, what's your name? She calls herself Chewbacca right now. She posted in January 2022. And I thought that happened in January 22. That story of Leon Hayes happened in January 2021. There's a little paragraph of their local channel 7. I called Waynes County to ask him why there's no update on this story. The state reporter contacted the coroner in February 2022. They tweeted it. He never got no response on that. That's Leon Hayes.
Let me ask you this: do you think white people want acts of violence occurring in their backyard?
Thank you.
Did they ever do that when we had these race wars and massacres? Didn't they always have it in the
Nick,
black?
come
Hold
on.
on, no, no,
No.
no. I
All
had
right,
No.
no.
let
Listen,
me
you
ask you
can't
something.
cut
There.
Let
me
me ask you
off.
something.
You can't
I
cut me
live in
off. You
Tampa,
can't
Florida.
cut me. Let me finish. The race wars and massacres that accrued by the white lynch mob, they always came in the black communities.
Let me
So you
ask
So
a
we
think
could
white
take
question.
lynch
Oakley,
mobs? Wait, wait,
Florida,
Can
wait.
which
I
is
ask a
You
November
think
question?
2nd.
white lynch
Nick.
mobs?
Hold on. We could take November 2nd, 1939, with that. What was the That's the most deadliest election in U.S. history, Oakley, Florida, and that was a
Yep.
predominantly black. That was a predominantly
Yep.
black. Hold on, yo, Bearded, let me finish.
I'm
You not allow me to finish speaking. So the Oakley, Florida massacre, that was the most deadliest election, and that was November 2nd,
How many people died?
1939. July Perry, I'm sorry.
How many people died?
Wait a minute. I was ready. Y'all didn't let me
14.
finish.
14 people
Okay,
died.
wait a minute. What we not going to do in my live, you're not going to talk over me. So I'm going to speak just like I allow all of you to speak, and do not talk over me. Now, like I said, and I will repeat it. Cut me off and I'm going to start all over. So on November 2nd, 1939, the most deadliest election was on November 2nd, 1939. The one that was recorded for a lynching was July Perry. Moses Norman was can't be found. But they were pushing the poll to have black people vote. But unfortunately, the white tea lynch mob didn't like that because they made the complaints to their local government officials that they were turned away. So the white tea lynch mob went in that community and chased those black people out. The ones who survived, they left everything behind. So we're not going to talk about that. And then that became a sundown town until the late 1970s. And some of those people who live in Oakley, Florida, still don't know that was a predominantly black neighborhood. We could talk about Rosewood. We could talk about the Atlanta riot. We could talk about the Chicago riot. We could talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma. We could talk about the Red Summer. We could talk about the Red Summer with the Elaine, Arkansas, with 99.7 black people that was lynched. and those soldiers came back to fight against that. So we could keep talking. Just let me know when you want me to stop. So don't say that black people didn't start this. Black people didn't start this. So we're not going to say that white people can't be inherently racist, because where we get those damn extremists. Also, we can talk about the lynching of David Walker that happened in Kentucky, right?
Right,
So
but
we could
you're
talk about
talking
that.
about it.
So no, and we could talk about Mary Turner, who actually was
Right,
pregnant
you're
when they
naming
gutted her
individual
belly
people.
out. So what do you mean? You mean to tell me that these people weren't racist?
You're
Who
naming,
wasn't
no, I'm
breeding
saying you're naming
racism?
individual people and
No,
trying to
no,
use
I'm
it to,
breeding individual people who've been unalived.
right, but you're taking a paintbrush and you're
I'm
saying
not taking
because
no
one
paintbrush,
person that
but you
had
can't
these,
say that
you
white people
are.
haven't been racist, because look, we could go pull up these damn photos, these black and white photos, and look at these lynching parties where it was 9,000 to 10,000 spectators, including their children, standing in front of black men who were hung from the tree. Now we could talk about that and we could show it. Fuck it, I'll let this live die. But we're not going to dismiss the fact that white people have been. And just because we got white people here who claiming they're not doing anything to change the other white people who aren't. Or we
That's
Hey,
could
not their
talk
Nick.
about
job.
Ahmaud Arbery,
Hey,
who was
hey,
chased
Nick.
and gunned down in his own neighborhood from a jog.
Hey,
And
Nick.
We could
who
talk
brought him
about
to
Justin
justice?
Peoples,
Who
who
brought him
was
to justice? Was
unalive
it black
last
people or
year.
was it white
We could
people?
talk
Let her
about
cook.
Justin
Let
Was it
her
a
Peoples.
white, was
finish
it a
Hold
cooking.
on,
white
hold
attorney
on.
general
We could talk
or a
about
black
Justin
attorney general?
Peoples. We could talk about Justin Peoples, who was unalive at a Chevron gas station minding his own goddamn business when a white tea supremacy couple had unalived him because he was black.
Hey, hey, Nick. Can I?
That was last year.
Hey, Nick.
Or we can
Can I?
also talk about the black kids that committed suicide going to predominantly white schools, but these white people aren't racist.
That's not a
Or we could
lynching.
talk about the white kids that actually, we could talk about the
Nick.
white kids who was doing blackface on this internet.
And blackface is
Hey,
not lynching.
So, oh no, blackface is racism.
And
Making
hey,
fun of
Nick.
black
Can I
people,
blackface
ask
is
that's
a
not
racism.
question?
racism.
Okay,
What?
you, Joe, is not racism. To the rest
No,
of
if
everybody
okay,
else,
if I
is a
do blackface
history
right
behind
now, is that
blackface.
racism? If I do
Okay, what you
blackface
say?
right now,
What
is
you
that
say?
racism?
I'm sorry, I can't hear
Do
what you
it
say.
in
Say it
front
again.
of me.
If
I
I do
can't do.
blackface right now, is it racism?
If you do blackface, you probably get beat down by a lot of motherfuckers,
Why?
because the history of what white people did with blackface. They made fun
They
of black
replaced black
people.
actors?
But isn't he
No, they
black?
didn't replace black. Ours was black people that did it. I mean, white people that did
No.
it.
White people replaced black actors in shows by being white people playing the black actors. That's why they did blackface. Because black
Mm,
people were not allowed to act.
so they wanted to pretend to be a black person, huh? That's really
That's why they
nice.
did blackface.
Well, they
Against
did blackface
actor.
because of racism.
No, they did blackface because black people
Nick.
weren't allowed to act.
Nick,
Did they
can
have
I ask
black?
you?
Hold on.
Nick,
Answer
can
this
I
question.
ask?
Why did they have black faces in Birth of a Nation? Hmm?
Because
Cause,
because black
cause,
people weren't allowed to act.
cause, or what?
Melanated, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Who sold the black slaves to the white man?
Are you going to try to say it was the
Hold on,
Africans?
hold on,
He's
hold
not
on,
trying to say
Nick.
anything. That's the
So
facts.
I'm trying to understand what he's
Hold
trying
on,
to
Nick.
say. So
Hold
I
on,
want to
Nick.
know who bought
The
him.
most
Hold
predominant,
on, hold on, hold on. Who was the
Nick,
motherfuckers
please,
that bought him? How about that?
Nick.
No,
Who
no,
was
no,
who
no.
was the
Fuck you.
predominant slave
No, no,
owner in
fuck you.
America?
You're a
Who was?
criminal just like a white man.
Hey,
So
Nick.
let
It
me
was
ask you a
nice knowing
question.
you. It was
Okay,
nice
so
knowing
who
you.
bought him?
It was nice knowing you.
Nonya.
Knowing you. Yeah, it was
That's a
Knowing
nice
white
knowing
you?
brother.
you. I supported you, but
I don't
yet
care
when I
about your
state
support.
fact,
But
when
you're
I
not spitting a motherfucking fact. You need to tell us who bought
no,
them.
I'm spitting fact. Who was the
Motherfucker.
predominant? Who
So
was the
who the
predominant?
fuck is
Hold
doing
on,
it right now? Who
hold
did
on.
it here in the United States of fucking America?
Who here
So
was
don't
the
be talking
predominant?
that bullshit.
Who here was the
Who
predominant
the fuck
slave owner?
bought them? Who
Who?
bought them?
Who? It was a black
Them
man.
motherfuckers.
It
Hey,
was a black man.
hey, enough. Hey, here,
It was a black man.
enough.
Joel. What was his name?
Are we talking about the first
You know,
Anthony
Eric.
Johnson, or are we talking about the guy from South Carolina?
South Carolina.
Well, the South Carolina guy, he was a slave breeder.
I'm
He
just
wasn't the
trying to
first
tell
slave
you
owner.
I'm trying
He
not
was a
to forget
slave
this.
breeder,
So if you're not
slave
gonna tell the
owner.
truth, who
I'll
bought him and
try
who brought
to.
him here, then you're not telling the
Who
truth.
sold them? Who
Who
sold them
bought him?
from Africa?
Who
Who
bought him?
sold them?
Who
Wait,
Who
bought him?
sold
wait,
them?
wait, wait.
Who
Are you
bought
talking
If you
him?
about
get if you
Gambians
get
or are
if
you
you get
talking
Who
busted
about?
by the
bought
cops
Hold
them?
on
for
now.
selling and
Nick,
I
buying,
So
gotta
you're
ask.
who
still
the
charged
fuck
with
brought him
human
over here?
trafficking. So there's
You
no
didn't belong over here. That
someone
wasn't
was
even to
better
be
than
in
someone
Africa.
else in this.
Who bought him? So you can
Nick,
play
don't get
around all the
mad.
fuck
You
you
know
want.
who bought him.
You getting
That's
mad,
crazy.
No,
and I'm
I'm not
spitting
Me,
getting mad
fact.
because you're trying
I'm
to play
spitting fact.
stupid.
I'm
Nick, Nick,
spitting fact.
No,
Nick,
don't
Nick,
fucking play
This is
stupid on
stupid.
here, and
Nick,
you know you're going to either tell the fucking truth or
Nick,
fucking get
I'm
out.
telling the truth.
Nick,
You're not playing. You're not telling the truth
Nick.
because you're
I'm
trying to
telling
deny
the
your
truth.
racist
You
ass.
mad. You
No, I'm
mad,
not
but you
mad.
invite me to all
Let me
your
tell you
lies.
something. You was in my motherfucking face. You wouldn't say shit.
I
So shut
would.
the fuck up.
I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Let
I
him out.
would.
Let
And
him
you're a
out.
criminal, your goddamn self. You got a criminal
Yeah.
record. Have
Let
your
him out.
audacity with your criminal record. Shut
Mm-hmm.
the hell up, drug addict.
Wait,
Let him.
wait. How did
You's
wait,
a
wait?
drug
How
addict
does
with
he
a criminal
have?
record.
Wait, wait, wait.
Bruce.
How does a white man have a criminal record in a law that's inherently racist?
None is
Now,
right.
Joe, don't let me fuck your ass up too. I will fuck you up too.
he
So
can
don't
run
don't
you
play
into the
that
ground.
bullshit. Now we ain't gonna play dumb.
Yeah.
He can run you into the ground.
Yeah, no, he
You
can't
know
run me
Joel's
into the ground
Baptist.
because he
Yeah, he
can't
can.
fight. But I can
All
fight.
right.
So
Why
Yeah.
do
no,
you
No,
you
he
think
can't
I
run
can't
me
can.
into the
fight?
ground.
Watch out.
I don't hit
Well,
women,
don't
but
even
why would
go
you
there.
assume I
And
can't fight?
You're still a racist ass white dude. Just remember
And
that.
you're racist black. What
No,
difference
I'm
does it
not
make?
racist.
Hey,
You don't like
she's
Oh, so
white
when
people.
you
racist.
be calling
She's
motherfuckers
racist.
out being racist? When
She
so
invite me
no,
into
why don't
her
you tell me that?
pro-black.
How
She
about
invite me into her
hey Mr. Kim,
pro-black.
get
White
this
people
racist
are
motherfucker off the
establishly
panel?
racist.
What if I made a
No,
You
and
post
don't
that
invite
said
me.
all
forget,
black people are
don't
racist?
forget Joe. I mean, don't forget Bearded. You said some racial shit
I'm
the
just
How
trying
did
to
I
other
tell
say
man on my
you.
anything
panel. Don't
racial?
forget that,
How
right?
did I
Wait a
say
minute, where's
anything racial?
Casey at? Get Casey in here
They're
so
How
he
purple.
did
can
I
tell
say
you
anything
what the
racial?
fuck you
I
said
got told
when I
by
fell asleep.
melanated
No,
that
no,
Bubba
no,
is a
no, Casey.
racist
What the
term.
fuck you say to
Well, I
KC?
accepted that.
What racial shit you said to
No,
Bubba's
KC?
not a racist
What
term. They're
racial shit you
tripping.
said to KC?
no. Melanated said
No,
Bubba
no.
is a
What did you
racist
say to
term. That's
KC?
what he said.
Yo,
I didn't
someone
say
tag
anything to
KC in
KC.
here. Tag
I didn't say
KC.
anything to KC.
Tag. Yes, you did. You don't even remember. I don't even remember who KC is.
You got him.
Get him.
Nick,
Bring KC in here so you
Sister
can.
Get
was
him.
What's the
invited.
racial shit he
Nick,
said?
Nick,
Smash on
Nick,
Tell me what I
it.
said.
I
Nick,
was asleep
Yeah.
when you said it.
Nick,
I didn't say anything.
Oh well, you know
Nick,
what's in my live. I can pull that shit in my live. These
Nick,
Well,
lives are
pull it.
recorded.
Nick,
Now, if you want to fucking play, don't
Nick.
gaslight shit. We gonna talk reality in here. We don't do that gaslighting shit.
Ain't no
So
gaslighting
nobody
going
gonna
on.
gaslight in this
Melanated
bitch. You
said
gonna tell the
I said
motherfucking
one
truth
thing
or
wrong.
get the
Bubba.
fuck out.
Bubba, that was the wrong
Now you
term.
see when you said Swift, was you in here when he was saying shit to Casey when him and Casey was arguing?
No, I had went to get something to eat.
No, talk about Swift.
Oh, all right.
No, this wasn't today. You know
No.
when you and Casey was arguing when I fell asleep.
I
It was
said
a
free my
Mexican
boy,
joke you
and he said
said.
don't call
Did
me
you say a
boy.
Mexican fucking joke? You made a Mexican joke, you remember?
What do
Someone
you
just
call two
text me. They
Mexicans?
said you
What
made
do
a
you call two
Mexican joke.
Mexicans playing basketball
No, go
one
ahead.
on one?
Why don't you tell them the joke you said? What joke you say?
We
What do you
just
call
said
two Mexicans playing one on one? Or what do you call two Mexicans playing basketball? One on one.
Swift,
How's
what
that
you saying?
racist?
No, that wasn't it. What joke was it? Swift
what's
said
the
that's
difference
not
between
it.
a black guy and
You
a
want?
park
Hey,
bench?
you
You
want me to
got
let
the
Swift come up?
recording.
Hey,
What'd you
Nikkei,
say?
I
Well, we
drop
Yeah,
gotta
you
wait
down
for
got
while
the
KC
Swift
to
come
recording.
come in
up.
here. We're gonna wait for
You can
KC to
drive
come
me
in
down
here.
and bring Swift up.
No, it wasn't Swift.
Oh,
No,
I
all
that's
right.
what
said
you kept
KC.
What's the
screaming.
difference between a black guy and a park bench?
What'd you say?
What's the difference between a
I
black
don't
guy and a
know
park
nothing
bench?
about your little dumbass racist jokes, and we won't deflect. Let's get on history.
A
And let's
park
talk
bench
about the
can
real
support a
shit.
family.
One on one
Let's
is
talk about
funny as
real shit.
fuck.
No, we're gonna talk about some real shit.
That's a fucked up
Explain this
joke
shit.
there.
What about the
Explain
black
that.
man who shot five white
How about
people this
explain that?
weekend?
No,
How about
we know
how
I
about
can't
that?
take my title.
How about that?
How
One black man
here
shot five
here
white people
here it
and
is.
Where,
said it
where,
was
where that
racist.
happened
How
at?
about
What's the
this?
difference between
Okay,
Sambo not realizing he's a black man? What's the difference?
okay. Now we'll
Wait,
get rid of
wait. Did you
that one.
just say
Now
what's
let's
the
move
difference
on.
between
Now
Between
Sambo not
Sambo
okay,
min
let's
not
go.
knowing he's a
Let's
black
go. Now
man.
answer this. Explain
and what?
this. Explain this.
No, and what? He just had the difference between two things and named one thing.
I
That's
say,
the
what is
dumbest
the
thing I've ever
difference
heard.
between
Nick, somebody want to
Sambo
come
not
up?
knowing he's a black
Who
man?
Roosevelt?
said put up? Come on
Roosevelt?
up. Come on up. You can come up.
That's a tough
I
Hey,
don't know who
topic.
y'all
this
in
one
the
up to
comments.
speak.
Oh,
None of
hold up.
them.
Don't
Commercial
bring
break.
politics
Commercial break.
into
Y'all in the
the.
No
comments,
fuck
cause
a
y'all the
Yeah.
like
no fuck a
button.
commercial break. No. Explain this. You think shit is a joke, Joe?
Yeah,
You
I
think
know
this
what
is
you're
a joke?
saying.
How
You know
Yeah,
much
what's
do you
crazy
get,
about that?
Joe? Let me ask you,
How
how
many
much do
black
you
people do you
hold
think kill
on, I
white
want to
people
ask
in
you
the
a
United
question.
States?
How much you get
4,600.
I'm talking. Now if you talk over me, I'm
4,600.
dropping your ass.
we're
Don't
past
talk over
14
me.
now.
Look, hold
Hold
on, be
on, hold
quiet.
on,
Everybody be
hold
quiet.
on, hold on.
Everybody be quiet. Talk over me, I'm dropping your ass. Do not talk over me, Joe. Do you understand?
You literally asked me a question.
No, I say let's talk about this.
No, you said a question and
I
then
said
paused. I
let's talk
started talking.
about
You
this.
started talking at the same time and said I was
No,
talking
I
over you.
said let's talk about this.
All right. If you can't be
How
logical,
much
I'm
do
going to
you
leave.
get paid?
More than you.
How much is more than me?
About just under a million a year.
You get paid $1 million a year?
Just under.
Under a million. Okay, and what do you do?
I sell white privilege cards.
You sell white privilege cards.
You're, uh,
And if you want to know how, you sell a
I
product
know how.
for
What
$30,
area you from? What
300,000
area?
times.
Hey,
Somebody's
what?
asking you a
Hey,
question.
what area you from?
I live in Tampa,
I
Florida.
know that. I know that shit. Where you from?
Tampa, Florida.
Are you? You're lucky you ain't in Cali.
Why? I'm actually lucky I'm not in Cali because you guys have crazy taxes over there.
I'm just trying to cut onions, man.
Why am I lucky I'm not in Cali? Were you going to make some thinly veiled threat?
I'm just trying to cut onions, man. What do you want?
Do you have can you hear?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. You see me, Buster?
Come on over.
Yeah.
We got
Oh,
tools for you.
I'm gonna
Are
cut
you
my
clicking
onions.
like a poom
I'm
poom?
gonna cut my onions. Is that
So I
alright?
guess you're trying to make a threat with a
I'm just listening.
firearm. That's weird
Oh,
when we
I'm not
got
making a
Love
cops
threat.
as
you.
moderators. I don't think you should be doing that.
He made the threat.
Oh, he
I
didn't make no
responded.
threat to you. He just invited you to come to Cali. It's
No,
an
he said
invite,
you
not
are
a
lucky
threat.
you aren't in Cali. That is a threat.
Okay, he said you lucky you're not in Cali. That's not a threat. That's
That
not a
was
threat.
100% a threat.
No,
Ask
it
him if it
wasn't
was
a
a threat.
threat, Joe. That was not a
You
threat,
ask him if it
Joe.
was a
What's
threat.
up, Priscilla?
Joe, it wasn't a threat. He didn't threaten you.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Getting emotional.
Yeah, you sound like everybody else. Fuck out of here.
I want to hear Roosevelt.
What's up, Roosevelt?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. I'm okay.
Oh
Um,
shit. Got a kid.
just kind of high emotions going on. I really
I'm
wanted to
just
come on in
ready to quit.
because of the responses that certain folks want you to have as they attempt to fish in your pond. You don't have to bite, but you end up biting, getting all riled up, and they love it,
Well,
and you just don't even see it.
I don't care.
So it's just the certain things you always got to be aware of, that certain people are always pretty much have a set agenda
Mm-hmm.
to upset you, and words are only words.
What?
So you
Y'all
understand? I'm
are y'all
saying
pretending
word.
like you ain't just see that?
I'm looking at Ronald. I mean Arnold. You see what
Gold
Arnold?
Star family just took a knife
He
out
ain't even
and
said
drew it across
nothing.
his own neck.
I didn't see anything.
Everybody just saw that. There's 100 people in here.
I didn't see
Nick.
nothing.
Nick Arnold didn't even say nothing, did he?
I don't know.
I'm not in control of the live. If I was in
All
control of
right.
the live, the guy would not even be here. But some people are good. It doesn't matter, what color they are, etc. Some people are, but more than ever, and now today, it shouldn't be much of a concern to you. So if you take care of your inner circle,
All
because
right.
it
I'm
takes
gonna.
so much energy to do that in the first place, you wouldn't have to
Hey,
worry
Gold Star
about this other
family.
stuff.
I got 7 million followers, and you just made my list. You think this is a joke? You're gonna find out. You're gonna find out. You're gonna find out.
That
This
sound
stuff
like a
is
threat,
unnecessary.
Joe. Joe, it
This
Little.
sound like you're making
this
a